Good Friday. Man, I love this day. End of the work week, rolling into the weekend, even though this weekend there might be a little trouble. Might be a little trouble on the national scale, as a matter of fact. I am your host, Leon Francis. This is Blackbeard Logic, giving you all things black bearded and logical. I'm kidding about it, like maybe two-thirds of those things, because a lot of what I say you should take seriously, and the other 95%, grain of salt, that sort of thing. Anyway, got a good show lined up for you today. Indeed, GOP Chairman Matthew Simons is in the house tonight. So we're going to ask him a couple of questions, a couple of local questions. There's that one guy, and I'm not even going to mention his name. Comes from really good stock, but every single time I read something or hear something from him, the only thing I can possibly think about is this.
Uh, Everything that guy just said is bullshit. Thank you. Uh, Everything that guy just said.
Seriously. It, every time I hear that guy, that's what I hear. I can't. Guy comes from really good stock, love his parents, but every time I hear something out of his mouth, it's like Katanji Jackson. It's about the same illogical illogic. It's not coherent in any way, shape, form, or fashion. It just, I don't know. It does something to me. Again, Leon Francis, Blackbeard Logic. Check me out on all my social media. In addition to uh, Matthew Simon, I'm going to have my good buddy Bob Wheeler in the house tonight. And it's always a good time when Bob comes through. It's always. I mean, I've been a fan of his for quite some time, and he recently had a birthday, as a matter of fact, a couple days ago. And yeah, I'm gonna need to give him a little gift. So he's gonna be um, Bob is gonna be rolling through at around 6:30, I want to say 6:30 ish, and we're just gonna chop it up, and that's what we're gonna do. It's what me and Bob are really really good at. A couple of local stories though, and I'm not gonna really dig into them right now. I will unpack them at later on in the show. But that guy that I told you about, the guy, he writes his little blog. He's in the forum, and the forum. It's the most unbiased rag in our area, right? I mean, but I read something in there that says, these no king protesters are like mom and pop shop owners. They are the customers that you are elbow to elbow in the checkout line with. They are moms and dads and rainbows and unicorns. And again, all I can think of.
Uh, Everything that guy just said is bullshit. Thank you.
Yep, pretty much. Because these guys are anything but that. I don't know any person that goes. I'll just say to my church that looks like any portion of that crowd. None of it. Like none of it. The people that show up at these type of rallies, in my humble opinion, are very much ill informed. Very much. Donald Trump actually put out a truth, and then and turned it into a tweet that actually thanked these idiots, because he said in his tweet, you know, I didn't even know that there was a king trying to take over. I am glad you guys are out there protesting it and letting me know so I can be on the lookout for that king. Because, again, Donald Trump is not a king. He's not attempting to be a king. And nothing, as a matter of fact, everything that he has done has made us freer. So I don't understand what they're. Even when you, even when we're talking about Trump going into these inner cities, and he's taking agents and federal agents in there. If you take a step back from the mainstream media and actually talk to the residents love it. Their kids can go outside and play now. Their kids can ride bike down the road. They could go to the corner store on the street without fear of being shot up. And there are tons. When I tell you tons, there are tons of these videos out there on the internet, but you'll never see a single one in the mainstream media. You got to ask yourself, why is that? Why would that be a thing? Why would they attempt to hide all of the positive feedback from these urban centers that Donald Trump is getting for making the streets safer, where you can actually walk down the street without your hand on your heater? It blows my mind. And so when I see these people gathering up to protest Donald Trump, I just see severe TDS, because it can be nothing but. Because guaranteed, the majority of them are going to be liberal, white, pink haired idiots. They're not going to be like inner city kids. That's not going to be the thing. It's going to be a bunch of area local wackos. But the guy across town, the guy that writes for the forum, that guy thinks that they're normal. Kind of shows you where his mentality is. Good God, I cannot believe he comes from such good stock. A little bit about Katanji Brown, because I didn't know this. Um, Forgive me. I'm just your humble host. I've been black all my life, but what I did not realize is that apparently, I am disabled. That is the argument a Supreme Court justice proffered. I made a reel about it. You can go to my social media and check it out. Started out, you know, I listened to it, and this was a day before, like Bill O'Reilly and Glenn Beck and all the big names jumped on it. Like, this was a full day before that happened, and I mentioned that to my wife. I'm not saying Glenn Beck is like listening to Blackbeard Logic. I'm just saying there's a causal correlation, a line that I can draw. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, this woman compared being black and attempting to access the voting system is akin to the ADA's ruling about people with disabilities. She says the same argument can be made. And then that idiot proceeded to attempt to make that argument. We're going to talk about that later in the show. My first segment, I think I talked just a little bit too much, but we're going to break that down. Also, next year, it Angel Studios is going to put out this amazing. The trailer looks amazing, about a young George Washington, and I got into it with some Twitter soy boy about that whole thing. We're going to talk about that too. But the trailer looks amazing. If you understand American history, like, I know there's folks out there that says, white Americans stole everything and they don't have any original ideas and blah 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 and this and that. No, if you crack a history book, you'll see this country has a very, very rich and vibrant history, rich and vibrant culture. All of it's not pretty. I believe all of it was necessary, and that's the sticking point with most folks. I believe that it was ugly but necessary to get us to the point that we are right now, and I'm grateful for it. been for a very long time. Guys, I've been saying this for quite some time. Um, I, I forget how long ago it was at the first Tea Party rally I can remember. Me standing there with the mic. I think Hannon had the mic in my face, and I just kind of get up and I just go on a rant. And like there must have been a good 300 people there, and all of them just kind of they turn around and they're looking at me, and I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, it's been a while. I've been saying this, like this is not a new thing for me. I've been saying the exact same thing, having the exact same message for a very, very, very long time. Anyway, we're going to dig into that perspective with Bob Wheeler. Maybe even, talk to Matt Simon about it. But first segment is in the tank, and we're going to be right back after these messages.
Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake.
Make no mistake.
Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Come on now.
And we're back. I just had a scare because my computer froze for a minute, and I'm like, oh no, we're about to go down hard. But one of the things uh, to my next time in indeed on that little Trump back there where he hurt uh, Rob Port because that guy, I don't know why that guy's hair is on fire. I think he needs a therapist or something. It's the weirdest thing. But then again, like most things with that guy, common sense just kind of goes right over his head. Common sense, however, does not go over the head of my next guest, Matthew Simon. How you doing, sir?
I am doing all right, Leon. What do you know? I am doing all right, Leon. What do you know?
Not a whole heck of a lot, but definitely a lot more than a lot of the folks that I see. I'm just going to put it that way, man. So I wanted to ask you, like I've been hearing a little scuttlebutt about the state of the NDGOP, and I know that you're out there. Like I've seen you at events. Your schedule is full. You're out there talking to folks, shaking hands, kissing babies, the whole nine yards. And I want to get your perspective um, on one the state of the NDGOP in light of like the government shutdown. Do you feel like outreach has been stymied a little bit, or is it strong and with your constituents? I guess we'll start there. What do you think about that? Government shutdown, outreach by the NDGOP, to the constituents out there. How do you think that's going?
Just because the people in Washington can't figure out how to come to a consensus on anything doesn't mean that our work at the NDGOP stops. We're not taking any breaks. Like you said, my schedule's full. I'm still traveling around the state, getting to meet people, selling the Republican brand. Washington's not going to detract from that.
What do you make of the media? Like, if you turn your TV on, it's an onslaught of Republicans are Nazis, and we got a king now apparently, and just the craziest things. How do you get out there and give you? And I've seen like the soccer game we were at. I was amazed. That kind of outreach. Wow, top notch. You reach those guys on their level. They understand. They got. I mean, they're not gonna know about tariffs and trade wars with China or any of that stuff. But what they do know is that a guy like you, gals like Lori Hens and Jarrett Hendricks is not a gal. I just kind of misspoke there, but you have their best interest at heart. You see that micro on the macro when you're going out and you're going to different districts.
Yeah, I think it's amazing how much people in general have in common when we turn off the news and just talk to each other person to person. And I see that in all parts of the state, in all matters of people from all different backgrounds. It really does come down to developing an interpersonal relationship with somebody. And the media has a vested interest financially in creating turmoil and division to balkanize the country because, as the old adage goes, if it bleeds, it leads. Well, their entire business structure is predicated upon getting advertisers to think that they're getting in front of a lot of people who may buy their product. So they're selling clicks. Well, nobody's going to
Yeah.
turn in if they're getting just factual, empirical news. Because people like drama. That's why most of your TV shows that are so highly rated out there have elements of social drama. The news is no different. They're a glorified new wave PT Barnum act, and that's unfortunate. People have to be um, a little more intentional if they want to get out and find actual facts on the ground.
Yeah, and I always said, like, I like to look a guy in the eye, shake his hand maybe, test his mettle a little bit, and, like, the first time I met you, we just kinda chopped it up for, I don't know, 5, 10 minutes, and I already knew this guy's a Christian man, he's a family man, he's a conservative, 100%. Some folks would well, this is really odd because some folks would call you right wing, and I think I'm much further to the right than you are. So take that as you will. But anyway, you've been going around to all the districts. What are your stops coming up in the next couple of months?
I'm going to get out to Valley City here in the very near future.
Yeah.
That it should be a really fun event. I've heard that their barbecue is best in the state, so I'm gonna go sample and see if I believe them. Um,
Oh, out in District 24.
yes, out in District 24. So looking forward to doing that. I haven't made it that way yet. I've leapfrogged over
I
them and gone to Fargo a few times, but yeah, looking forward to that one.
I can attest. The barbecue is top notch. I'm in District 24, so I sampled the wares many, many times.
Well,
So
this is the figure of a
you'll
guy who appreciates food.
right here, buddy. But also, on that note, I believe we still have gun raffle tickets. So contact Wendy Johnston at District 24 if you want to pick up a couple of those things. I think you can get 6 for the price of 5. I think you can get a whole book for the price of 5 tickets. So, you, and I'll put that on my social media. I should have had that ready to go, but I'm me. I'm scatterbrained sometimes.
Well, they
Anyway.
better buy those tickets up before I make it out there. I've got a little bit of a weakness for gun raffles. There may not be any tickets left.
Oh man, they always have a good collection too. Dan out there, Dan Johnston, yeah, he's got a good eye for firearms, man. Really solid guy. But yeah, so you're coming out District 24, and I should know this. I should know the date, and Wendy is gonna kick my butt for not knowing this, but I will post that on my social media also. So as you're getting out and you're talking to folks and you're talking to like the representatives, I'm positive you're going to be out talking to like Wabana and Johnston and all those folks out in District 24. Um, if you have already spoken to them, are they voicing any concerns about GOP participation and that sort of thing. Enthusiasm, excitement, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think it really depends on who I'm speaking to. I do hear concerns about the participation rate, and that's obviously something that I'm going to follow very closely because that's part of the job of being chairman is to get people engaged. That's something that my District 8 cohorts and I have had a tremendous amount of success in. Sometimes it's a slow process as you get out there and you meet people, and it takes a while to build those relationships. But I will say that most of the loudest voices in the room, trying to paint a picture of broader discontent than what I believe really exists, it's an echo chamber.
Yep.
There's a handful of people that I think, for all of their screams about wanting unity, are trying to sow disunity very intentionally. If you look back at the membership drives, membership rates over the years, we're in a very typical part of the cycle right now. We're in an off year. Next year, it will certainly pick up. We just have to be a little more creative in how we go out and engage people. And, we've got lots of ideas that we're starting to implement. So there's nothing but confidence.
You got a good team around you.
We do have a good team. We have very capable people who are very creative, very well spoken, people that have a lot of institutional knowledge, have been engaged in the party everywhere from new people bringing passion to people that have been around for a long time and, know how the thing ticks.
Good deal. Good deal. And I just wanted to kind of address that. I mean, I'm sure you've seen the scuttlebutt. I it's like I said, I want you to tell me on that doll over there, where you hurt Rob Port because that guy. I wanted to get that out of the way, and now on to more pressing issues. How many ditch chickens did you bag, or have you been
None
out?
so far. I have a long-standing tradition of avoiding opening weekend because that just seems to be when everybody gets a little trigger happy and a little sloppy. I prefer going out, next weekend.
You know, uh, we were talking. Well, it wasn't me. It was Jamie. Wednesday's podcast, and I'm going to bring this around. You'll see. But he made the comment that there are some idiots that are attempting to make anyone under the age of like 18, I believe, have to have a parent or guardian with them when they're hunting.
Yeah,
And then
21.
21. Wow.
21.
So, and I mentioned this to my wife yesterday. Like, so I routinely have groups of kids that just kind of drive up and ask me if they can, shoot on our property, and I go right ahead. Like the last group of guys, they brought me, I don't know, 10 doves, I think it was, that they shot out there, and just gave them to me because they didn't bring a cooler. And I'm like, sweet. And then yesterday, two guys, and I know these guys, young kids. I don't know how old they are, but they went out, got two nice looking roosters, and gave me one. And I'm like, and it's awesome. They're not sitting inside playing the Xbox or getting into foolishness or anything like that. And it's a beautiful thing. I don't understand why there are so many people that are out there that want to destroy beautiful things. And I guess that's just a rant. That's not a question, but I know that you made a comment uh, during that podcast that a lot of people agreed with.
Yeah, and maybe before I repeat that comment, I'll just say the surest way to breed a weak society is to treat young men like they're boys, to infantilize them. And
Yeah.
I think that that's been a real concerted effort, and I don't understand the motive behind it. Is it misfeasance? Is it malfeasance? You're going to destroy a society if you don't let boys go out and do boy things, which is, go out and take risks, go out and experiment, go out and, scuff up knees. This is how boys become men and learn how to protect their families and to defend their country. It's very important. And now to the comment that I made on the podcast that you referenced, and just said that I think that it's a little disingenuous as a society if we're going to say that when you turn 18, you're a legal adult. You can be sent away for life for a felony. You can serve on a jury. You could vote for the commander in chief and leader of the free world. You can star in pornography. You can be handed a gun, be conscripted by your government, and sent to a foreign country to die. But now we're starting to say, well, you can't purchase a rifle until you're 21. You can't purchase a handgun until you're 21. Now they're pushing for this. You need to have, somebody accompany you to go hunt if you're, under 21. It's madness. The generations that built this country had achieved tremendous things by the time that they were the age that we're trying to tell people now you might be able to start maturing.
Again, and before you joined the conversation, I was referencing young George Washington. Washington. So Angel Studios is making this film about the young George Washington. I watched the trailers. It's going to be out in time for the 250th birthday of the United States of America. And sometimes we forget how young those guys were. Like they were not like 40, 50-year-old men doing. They were kids.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
Benjamin
George
Franklin was the
Washington,
outlier. The rest of them were very young. I mean, early 20s in a lot of cases. And look at what they were able to accomplish because it was a different society. I mean, there
yep,
were expectations that you were, church attending, that you practiced your faith, that you were educated. And when I say educated, I don't mean whatever monstrosity we've created in today's society. If
don't get me
people ever
started.
get the chance, it's difficult reading, and that's an indication of where we've fallen to as a society. But go read through the Federalist Papers. The
Yep,
the vocabulary that was used, the depth of knowledge on world history and specific countries' histories all throughout Europe, the way that they tie back different forms of government and they source scriptural references. They source, Adam Smith and Wellstone, and it just so very well read in a time and a place where access to information wasn't anything like it is now.
right.
We're choosing to dumb ourselves down. Go back and read that. Read the Federalist Papers, and I guarantee you're going to have to take it in small chunks because it's complicated reading from, again, guys like you just mentioned. Hamilton was the primary author. He was a very young man when he was putting out, these dictates in, the New York Post that he had founded, trying to convince people to, move away from one form of government with the Articles of Confederation and to adopt this new constitution. I mean, it is
And
breathtaking how bright these people were at that age.
yeah, I'm pushing up against the my minute mark, but just on that, like the amount of emotion that are tied to those words is lost on us. That like we can't fathom someone going out knowing that if they're caught, they could be drawn and quartered. They could be hung. Their family's home could be burned to the ground. Their son could be sent to prison for the crimes of his father. Like so many things. So when they sat down and they crafted our founding documents, they put their emotion, their soul into it. A thing that you can't hashtag, you can't meme, you can't like LOL it. I mean, you can't do that. The words are the emotion and the power behind it. And it was to make sure that they understood the gravity of what was going on at the time. They had a lot of Tories back then, you know?
Yeah. Well,
But anyway,
so,
I am. I I'm glad to see guys like you. Like I follow you. I see the powerhouse that your son is, and your family is an just American made family, awesome family. So when we talk about our sons, we're simpatico. I like the words that are coming out of you could be coming out of my mouth just the same. I
amen.
believe that all of that we need our boys to grow up big, tough, strong, pure of heart, Christian, because when you do that, you actually tie their hearts back to their country and to their community and to their family, and they will fight for that. The reason why we saw such a drop in our enlistment numbers a couple years back is they're breaking our society. The country boys that love God, country, and family, they're staying home just in case they have to protect their family. Now we got leaders that actually want to protect and serve the homeland, and I believe that they're stepping forward now. Those homegrown heroes. So I said all that, and I said I had a minute against my break. Now I'm like a minute 30 past it, but brother, it was great talking to you. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, quick comment. And you mentioned the words that they used and the value that they ascribed to them. They said um, that they pledged to one another their their fortunes, their sacred duty, and their lives, or sacred honor, excuse me, in their lives. These were real risks. These people were typically the more affluent in our society. So what they were putting out there in their big letter to the king, they had everything on the line and they knew it. And you're right, they were very intentional with their wording.
100%. Matthew Simon, indeed GOP chairman. God bless, man.
God bless Blackbeard.
So we're gonna go to our second commercial break, and I'll come back with my good buddy Bob Wheeler right after this. Yeah. See, it. So my computer does this to me just to cheese my grits. So we're just gonna talk for a little bit until it just unfreezes because we're going to do this commercial. There you
Looking for the best gun gear for every and any situation? Little Angry Man Arms LLC has you covered. Top-notch guns from top-name brands like Winchester, Glock, Sig Sauer, and Ruger to essential extras from Magpul, Streamlight, Hollow, Sun Optics, and more. Little Angry Man Arms LLC have everything to make your shooting adventures a success. Visit littleangrymanarms.com today and gear up for your next big hunt, competition, or home defense. Don't miss out on our exclusive deals. Little Angry Man Arms LLC, based in Trail City, South Dakota, your ultimate hunting partner.
go. And again, my computer just it's behaving like my we got a new puppy. Doesn't listen to me for anything. And that's what it's doing right now. So bear with me for 2 seconds. Bloodline Kinetics coming in.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy, Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
Welcome back on this Friday evening. My good buddy Matthew Simon, who just wrapped up that first part of the show with him. Matthew is like, as personal party chairs go, you can't get any better than Matthew. Again, I saw him out at that soccer game, and I thought he was going to DJ for a minute there. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I want to bring in my next guest. I called him my bearded brother, Bob Wheeler. Big Bob Wheeler. How you been, brother?
Oh, hanging in there just like everybody else, loving life. Can you hear me solid tonight, or we're gonna have issues again?
I got you.
Okay,
No, I'm
cool,
listening
cool,
for the
cool, cool.
reverb. I did not hear the reverb, so that's great. Happy birthday, brother.
Did that happen this week? Come on, man. Thank you.
I, and I got a gift
Another
for you.
day younger, down to 52 now.
Oh, okay. There you go. You're down to 50.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
lost a year somehow, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting up there too, man. I look at the old black beard and I'm like, oh, and you don't even want to see my eyebrows. It's the weird.
Oh, you poor guy. I mean, come on, like I feel
Oh,
sorry
yeah.
for you.
Right. But yeah, I got a gift for you. So if after the show today, I'll shoot you a text. I got something for you, man.
Okay.
I haven't had time to get out there. Even today, like I get in the door, I got like half an hour to get everything set up and run the show and everything. I got to do time management better or something. I don't know. Maybe I just found out, Bob. You're gonna want to sit down for this. I just found out that I am disabled. Did you know
Huh?
that? Yeah.
Okay, let's let her rock.
Well, I mean, I am. The Supreme Court justice argued that I am disabled because of the melanin in my skin. Did you know
Yep,
that?
yep, yep, yep.
Yeah.
I forgot. I learned that yesterday, the day before too. I'm glad you brought that up because I really forgot that we are going to be changing our voting districts even to help those disabled because of the color of their skin.
You know, it's amazing to me that Barack Obama got elected twice with the highest black turnout ever. I mean, outside of Joe Biden, because everybody loved Joe Biden so much more than they did Barack Obama, that he got millions and millions of more votes than Barack Obama. But anyway, we're not gonna. That was a lay aside. Uh,
Eh,
I,
what are they going to? And I can't say this in public. What are they going to come up with next? Because every time I say that crap, somebody comes up with some new shit that messes with the world again. Because they're just thinking they're grasping at straws. This is what happens when the left completely loses its grip, and now we're seeing it on new levels where they've lost their grip on sanity completely. They're gone crazy. Tomorrow will be an example of that on display around the country.
yeah.
But it shouldn't surprise us anymore, brother. I mean, it really shouldn't. And it's sad that we have to go, what's next? And I mean, we can't write that. We can't imagine that wackadoo Stephen King on his most coked up night couldn't write what we've been through the last 10 years, let alone the next 10, because TDS and Coke don't go together.
Right.
you know.
Or maybe they do. I don't know. Crazy likes crazy, man. But like, and you made a good
Oh,
point
shoot.
there. What's next? Because they like last time around they threw everything but the kitchen sink. They created a virus. They infected half the world with it. I mean, they stole an election. That they started with this brand new fad. Turn your little boys into little girls, and I mean just insane things that we would never even conceive of a couple of years ago. So it scares the living bejesus out of me what they're going to do in the next election cycle. It seems to me that they're gearing up for it now. You
The
think all
next thing that I see is they're going to revisit some of the old stuff. They're going to bring out China virus times 2 or 3 or whatever 4 we're at right now. I believe truly with my heart, and folks, please be ready for this, that I believe they're going to attempt to start a war to try to make Donald Trump look bad and say he started it with all the stuff that he's doing. We are in. I mean, don't kid yourselves, folks. We're in World War III and have been for years. It's not the war that you think you're supposed to see when you think of war, but we've been in the middle of World War III for quite some time. So that's not going to be it. But an actual physical war where you're going to see bloodshed again and bombs and missiles is my biggest fear right now. Um, the
100%?
red wave is still flowing. and rolling and rocking and doing really well. So unless this government shutdown isn't going to do squat to us, it's if nothing else, it's going to make us gain people. But until you start to lose faith as a Trump supporter, we've got this thing made because there's not a whole lot they
Yeah.
can do as long as we've got over 50%, I'm sure by now, of the entire population, non-voters included. I think we're rolling hard towards that 60% soon, 65% of Americans, not just voters, of Americans that are going to like what's going on. Now, if you're out there crying and complaining because you're a federal employee, you don't have a job, that's your fault. Okay. Love you, feel for you, but guess what? The federal government has been too bloated for too long. If you were a patriotic American, you would have seen that decades ago, and you might would have stayed away from the federal government employment. Breaks my heart for some of you because you haven't been truly awakened to that. But this is part of it. The government shutdown is an attempt to try to turn the people against Trump and the red wave.
And that's a good point that you just made. The fact that especially during this last administration, they put the federal government on steroids. Not saying that the Republicans didn't do the same thing. Government is a leviathan.
Mhm.
It exists to grow, but the more folks that you can have employed by the government, the harder it hurts, it burns when you have to roll it back, and we're seeing that. And I have this sinking suspicion. Well, I know this for a fact. Like with the whole No Kings rally around the globe, and you can't turn on any media source and get anything close to fair and unbiased. You just can't do it. And so they're stirring up all this consternation, all of it. Even with me, I'm of two minds, and my wife and I we talked about this what 2 days ago, about going and counter protesting the No Kings protest. But then you got to think about it. Like a guy like me, I'll just put it this way: when BLM was marching in Fargo, I went down there. I had my AR in the truck. I had my sidearm on, and I think it was Chris Berg was walking with me, and he was a little afraid. I'm just gonna say I was not. And if I'm standing there peacefully, and I'm not a guy that's. I don't think I could Charlie Kirk it very well, and my wife made that point.
Mhm.
You know, So now I'm thinking, should I go down there and counter protest because I want the message that Christ is King. I want that forward and foremost. But is it worth me going down there, possibly getting hurt, possibly hurting someone else, possibly having to go to jail for something, and all of that? When I know it's all perception, I know it's all deception. So, what is a bob? How does a Bob Wheeler dance between those dewdrops, man?
I stay home. I'm just going to be honest with you
Okay.
because I'm not going to give them, and it's even like sharing stuff on social media. There's times I hate to even do it, but because of me and my group, we all get it, right?
Yep.
But don't give them any more of their 15 minutes of fame. They'd love nothing more than for you and I and 10 others to go down there carrying firearms and them to start something, and we
Yep.
look like the biggest fools in the country. Okay. And that's something that now I'm sometimes it's unavoidable, right? You happen to be in town and something's going on, whatever else, or around. Like tomorrow, I want to travel over to Fargo and see my girlfriend. And I just said, we got to make sure we figure out where all this crap is going to take place. And we're going the other direction.
Right.
Not that I can't handle a protester. First of all, as long as they are practicing their constitutionally protected right, I want nothing to do with it because
100%.
I support that right 100%, 110%. Okay. I have my biggest fear because that old Power Stroke don't like to slow down once they get ahead of steam on
Nope.
it. And I like speed bumps once in a while.
I got a
That's my
Facebook.
biggest fear.
I got a
Um,
Facebook strike for saying something similar back during the.
I-
you
I want to put one of them Road Warrior type fronts on it, one of them nose cones, go down to a point and like a, a,
100%.
a V plow, and just throw the stuff off the side. And so that's why I don't build things like that, and that's why I
Yep.
stay away from things like that. But and all joking aside, I think it's the smartest thing we can do is you don't need to have a counter protest, okay? Because our counter protest is going to come in a year and a half with our voting records.
Yep.
Okay, our counter protest is going to be the next presidential election. Okay, we don't need to give them any ammunition. It's like this, and you know me, all right. I 100% don't believe there's any gun laws whatsoever other than my constitutionally protected right to keep and bear arms.
Yep.
But I'm not going to be like some of these clowns do it, and it seems like Florida's the biggest state that does it. They're down there constantly pushing the open carry law.
Mm.
All right, we had the conversation about law enforcement. For those that I respect in law enforcement, they've got better things to do than worry about me carrying a firearm when I'm down here going fishing to run my. Do I support the right to do it? Yes, but I don't necessarily
Yep.
need to do it. Right. So do I support my right to counter protest? Yes, but it's not a good idea right now. I don't think.
Yeah,
Plus, you
it's
get the
all your
freaking media.
environment.
What's that?
Like it's all the environment. So like I carry everywhere I go, everywhere. I am
Mhm.
not one of these guys that'll sling an AR on my back and walk down to West Acres, just because gun
You
rights.
get a chance.
I think that's dumb. I think that's
Yep.
stupid, and it does not. My purpose for carrying is not so everyone can see what a badass I am. That's not it. It's to protect my
Mhm.
family. And if that's in any way compromised, I'd rather a guy think that I'm unarmed and then have the element of surprise. So I 100% get where you're coming from. I'm the guy that used to stand in front of the abortion clinic with the nuns.
Mhm.
That. But now I'm a little older. A little older anyway.
You got a
So
family.
I gotta think about these things. So
And there's nothing wrong with doing it either way, but yet for what I feel like we need to accomplish, I'd rather be the big black jackets that they wore in Tombstone with your pistol strapped on your waist, being hidden behind a coat when you needed it to be. Right? I mean,
100%.
that's just one example of I like the concealed, but I don't like the licensed concealed. Right?
Yep.
Um, I don't want anybody. I want them guessing. You know
Yep.
what I mean? I want people guessing whether I go pick on this guy or this gal if they've got a gun or even a can of bear spray or
Yep.
that kind of stuff. I want them to keep wondering what's going on. But what was that young man's name back that did the shootings for us?
Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yes, Mr. Rittenhouse. I love the guy. He did what he had to do. They were actually in a different situation. They were protecting something
Yep.
because the threats had been made and things were going on. I'm a huge Kyle Rittenhouse fan. I hope that young man is out there doing wonderful things right now, and I hope he's
Oh, he
well.
is. He is
You
tearing
know,
it up, man.
he did exactly what millions of American men should have been doing before him, as far as I'm concerned. Okay. But do I support and want violence? Hell no. But he did exactly what needed to be done. Okay.
It's a
Oh,
testament to our character, though. Like, they ran this January 6th thing to the hilt, and they manufactured so much of it, and they hid tape, and they instigated, and they shot rubber bullets into the crowd, and and you got to understand, the folks that they were doing this to are Second Amendment supporting, God fearing patriots who would tear it down to
mhm,
protect this country,
mhm.
and they were still reserved, and they still had to manufacture a riot situation with their instigators and their Antifa operatives and the FBI and all of that. They had to do all of that. So I think that most of us have Clay's mindset. Keep your powder dry, and
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that is a sage. And again, when I first heard that, me and Clay kind of had a back and forth, and I'm like, "Keep your powder dry." No, man, I'm cocking. I'm coming out, kicking in the door, man. What do you think I got this assault rifle for? And then some of the gray hairs catch up with you and say, "Hey, buddy, when you need it, you need it." You don't need to advertise.
Yeah, and I don't need to advertise that I got it. And you know, if we were the animals and the evil and that they portray us to be, we wouldn't be talking about this crap today because all those bad senators, good senators, Hollywood freaks, media personnel, they wouldn't be here anyway. But
Yep.
we're not the type of people they're trying to portray us to be. And that ties in with the protests. I'm not going to go down there and let something happen that lets them flip
Yeah.
the story and actually make it true. And that's just me. I mean, I don't want to be there because, well, I've got good self control, but guess what? you
I
know,
do not. I'm just gonna and my wife, like, I'm making signs and like the whole nine, and she's like, "So, you're really gonna go to this thing, huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah." and and then she reminded me of a couple of things, namely, my temper, which has gotten a lot
Mhm,
better.
mhm,
But I tend to be, I kind of wear what I believe on my sleeve,
mhm,
or the back of
mhm.
my hand, like baby powder, so I could backhand those liberal idiots. But sometimes that just doesn't work in a volatile
This is
situation.
how I got my patience.
Yeah,
The more gray hair I get, the more patience I get, the
yeah,
more slow your roll, think a little clearer. You know, 4 years as a Marine, I didn't have any patience.
yep.
You know, I got most of the.
Oh, we lost you. We lost Bob Wheeler.
Um, you know, that's it, but
Okay, he's
it's
back.
paying off to be patient, to be cool, to be calm, be collected. You know what I'm saying? It's better off now.
100%. 100%.
Oh,
So
brother, are you there?
I am. I see you now. We lost you for a couple seconds. Okay, we're gonna go to a commercial while me and Bob figure out what's going on here. So we will be back right after this break.
At Horton Laser Craft, we believe in the power of At Horton Laser Craft, we believe in the power of personalization. Whether it's a cherished memory, a special occasion, or a unique gift, our custom laser engraving brings your vision to life. Our expert craftsmen and state-of-the-art technology ensure every piece is a work of art. From personalized decor to one-of-a-kind keepsakes, Horton Lasercraft makes every moment unforgettable. Visit HortonLasercraft.com today and start crafting your perfect gift. For more info, email them at HortonLasercraft@yahoo.com or call them up at 605-545-7535. Horton Lasercraft, where memories are engraved.
Looking for the best gun gear for every and any situation? Little Angry Man Arms LLC has you covered. Top-notch guns from top-name brands like Winchester, Glock, Sig Sauer, and Ruger to essential extras from Magpul, Streamlight, Hollow, Sun Optics, and more. Little Angry Man Arms LLC have everything to make your shooting adventures a success. Visit littleangrymanarms.com today and gear up for your next big hunt, competition, or home defense. Don't miss out on our exclusive deals. Little Angry Man Arms LLC, based in Trail City, South Dakota, your ultimate hunting partner.
We are back. We are back. I can see you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So my last segment went a little long, and so we got right around 5 minutes left. I want to remind the folks out there to please share, subscribe, and support 701 Nation, Guns in the 701, and Blackbeard Logic. Every Wednesday night, you get Guns in the 701, the 701 Nation at 8 p.m. And you got me at every Friday at 6 every Friday morning at 8:15. Todd Mitchell K Fire 550. I think Jamie is going to take the lead next week, and then I'm going to be on the following week. So make sure that you tune in to K Fire for that. And then we have a new segment, Sunday Sportsman Devotion, and that's at 10 a.m. with Pastor Vance Bishop. We have an iHeart link. I'll put that in my social media. So make sure you like, subscribe, share, and support the content that you're hearing, especially if you agree with salty old guys like me. Just give me a like, give me a share, that sort of thing. I am back with my big bearded brother, Bob Wheeler, chopping it up on a Friday, man. I love it.
Well, it's always good to talk to you. I wish I'd have been able to listen to all of the stuff with Matthew Simon. That's a very good friend of mine, a dear friend of mine. One of the best things that could ever happen for the NDGOP. If you listen to Matthew, he's articulate, he's educated, he's got a wonderful mind to tear things apart and fix it. And back when I ran for the House of Representatives back in 2019, 2020. Matthew was one of the constituents that had an opportunity to vote for me, and he asked for a chance to go meet up and visit. He wasn't going to blind me, give me a vote or not give me a vote. He wanted to educate himself. And I mean, we went in for what I figured to be 15 minutes, of a handshake. Hey, how you doing? And an hour later, we were still visiting. And his logic and his reasoning and his common sense and his belief system is just amazing. We couldn't ask for a better thing here in North Dakota. We're blessed.
And I 100% agree, which is why I don't understand the consternation behind guys like that. Now, and I'm just going to say this, and I might get in trouble, but it's not the first time. So, with me, I like folks that represent me. So, a lot of the, I don't know, pleated khaki class of elitists in the GOP in general, I don't identify with them. Like
Mm-hmm.
a guy like Matt. One of the reasons I like Representative Dan Johnson is because he's cut from the same cloth as me.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to his house for collard greens. I've been.
Very
I mean,
true.
I've eaten catfish at the dude's house. They catch him right,
He
on
lives on.
the river, right
Yeah.
there. And so that kind of thing appeals to me, but I hear so much negative from the elite class. I used to call them the bergamite class, those folks. And I'm like, what are you talking about? This is the guy you want. You want the family values guy. You want the patriot. Do you hear the way he talks about the Federalist Papers? Some of the some of our past leaders leaders that couldn't hold a candle to that. They know how to enter that conversation.
Our
That's what I
leaders
like, and I
don't
do.
even know what the Federalist Papers are. Our
Right.
past leaders don't even know what the Federalist Papers are. They've
Yeah,
never read the Constitution from start to finish. They have no clue. And I will promise you that Matthew Simon's read them all multiple times and
100%.
understands them.
You can tell.
Absolutely. I
You
mean,
can tell. And
yeah.
you can also you can also tell when someone has notes in front of them and they're just giving you a topical. Those guys. Yeah, he's not one of those guys. We're chopping it up on the soccer field in district. I think it was 10, and he's just telling me about all kinds of history, Constitution. We were talking about the founding fathers and the principles of which this whole thing was propped up on, and with the just depth of knowledge. And then he's a good family guy, and then he deadlifts. I'm for all that, man. All that. That's what I need in a leader, man. I can't get behind a pastel colored sweater vest. I just can't do it.
I can't get behind the Prince Perry Sherry first, and I can't get behind anything that represents what he got behind and tried to represent. I can
Right.
get behind, and it's funny because I still owe Matthew Simon a check. I owe him my North Dakota GOP dues, but I want to hand it to him in person because I quit the North Dakota GOP.
Me too.
Prince Perry, I'd had enough. But when Matthew Simon was running, I told everybody publicly, he wins, I'm joining the party again. And I just have to get it in for Matthew and the party and support it again, because now we have a leader, whether they're snowballing him and they're letting him, whether he gets enough accomplished or not. I
Yeah,
support the leadership for once. And
100%,
he's not a manager, he's a leader.
100%.
And
District
he's just
24. He's going to be at the barbecue this fall for District 24. So yeah, come on out, man. We're
yeah,
gonna
well,
have
that's the plan.
yeah, and
Yep,
it's
that's the plan.
I want to put this out to all of the folks that are listening, and to um, anyone that's remotely involved in like District 24 or any of your districts. If you were holding back, because I was, like for a very long time, right now Matthew needs us. You know, um, if you agree with his leadership and you like like I say, the cut of his jib, yeah, we got to help him out because they are trying to do a number on him. They're trying to do an end run around him. And we
Mhm.
need to make sure that they understand and he understands that we support guys like him. So,
Yep. We knew
when
this was going to be like it. It was a tough vote getting Matthew in, just about barely split. They don't, the two factions of the party, we'll call it, are definitely split. But when you do your homework, you take action and do it the right way. Come on down and get yourself educated to that event.
yeah,
Okay. Get a chance to meet Matthew Simon. Get a chance to learn how your system in the state of North Dakota works. Most important thing you can do for yourself this year is learn how the system in North Dakota works.
100%. Bob Wheeler. There we go. Man, I got to we got to do this more often. We got to make a we got to
Anytime, brother, anytime.
it's just my time. Like I look at my timer and I'm like, "Oh my god, it's already my time is already gone."
We could do 6 hours and never shut up. So
Man, happy birthday 1.
thank you.
2, thanks for the sage advice. And granted it came after my wife's sage advice. You know?
Brother, just stay home and enjoy your son and your wife. The heck with the rest of them clowns.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And 3, I got a gift for you. So we're
Oh,
gonna have to talk about getting you that gift, man.
well, yeah, I got something coming your direction too, but that was from last visit and I just ain't made it. So
Okay,
we'll do this again.
100%. The great Bob Wheeler. Thank you, sir.
Love y'all. Bye.
Yeah. So before we sign out, I just want to reiterate one more time. Well, a couple of things. One, please support, share, like, subscribe. Uh, 701 Nation, Guns in the 701, Blackbeard Logic. If you like our content, it's local content. We talk about local things. We are local boys, and and sometimes the national bleeds in. You know, that happens. But support us. Don't forget that Sunday we have that new program, Sunday Sportsman Devotion. That's at 10 a.m. with Pastor Vance Bishop. And then you have me every Friday, Blackbeard Logic with Leon Francis. You never know who I might have on. It may be me just bloviating for an hour. Um, give my wife a rest, that sort of thing. And then on the Wednesday night, of course, you have Guns and the 701, the 701 Nation. I don't know which one of those they're going to go with. I like them both, though. But that's every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Mountain. And then Friday mornings, Gun and the 701 joins Mitchell in the mornings on K Fire 550 radio, 99.7 FM, and iHeartRadio. So we're expanding. It's a network. It's truly a network now. So, and we're going to be adding content. Me and Jamie, we've kind of put our nose to the grindstone. We've been churning out like really nice reels. If you like the reels, go to our social media page, like the reels, share them, like the content, like the video, share them. That way we get this content out to many more people. And then the final thing, support our sponsors, because these guys like Doug over there at Lauer Auto. He's a legacy dude. He's been supporting us, shiftless layabout content creators from the from the beginning of this thing, and he's just a good dude, a two-way supporting, kind-hearted dude. I go to his house, he gives me a gift, and I'm like, Doug, you're already doing so much for me, and he's just a solid dude. So you're in the Bismarck Mandan area, go support him, support all of our sponsors. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to run our big block of sponsors right now. God bless. Good night. Running the sponsors now.
At Horton Laser Craft, we believe in the power of personalization. Whether it's a cherished memory, a special occasion, or a unique gift, our custom laser engraving brings your vision to life. Our expert craftsmen and state-of-the-art technology ensure every piece is a work of art. From personalized decor to one-of-a-kind keepsakes, Horton Lasercraft makes every moment unforgettable. Visit HortonLasercraft.com today and start crafting your perfect gift. For more info, email them at HortonLasercraft@yahoo.com or call them up at 605-545-7535. Horton Lasercraft, where memories are engraved. Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
When you want it done right,
Go where lemons go.
Kalen's Auto Service, owned and operated by Kalen and Misty Foss, lifelong locals with over 25 years experience. From modern rides to classic restorations, they can handle it all. Top quality work, fair price, and honest hometown values. Located just one block south of Highway 12 on 6th Avenue West in Lemon, Kalen's Auto Service, serving you with all your auto repair needs.
For the best gun gear for every and any situation, Little Angry Man Arms LLC has you covered. Top-notch guns from top-name brands like Winchester, Glock, Sig Sauer, and Ruger to essential extras from Magpul, Streamlight, Hollow, Sun Optics, and more. Little Angry Man Arms LLC have everything to make your shooting adventures a success. Visit littleangrymanarms.com today and gear up for your next big hunt, competition, or home defense. Don't miss out on our exclusive deals. Little Angry Man Arms LLC, based in Trail City, South Dakota, your ultimate hunting partner.
At Horton Lasercraft, we believe in the power of personalization. Whether it's a cherished memory, a special occasion, or a unique gift, our custom laser engraving brings your vision to life. Our expert craftsmen and state-of-the-art technology ensure every piece is a work of art. From personalized decor to one-of-a-kind keepsakes, Horton Lasercraft makes every moment unforgettable. Horton Lasercraft is owned and operated by a local veteran and his wife located near Thunderhawk, South Dakota. They provide custom laser products at a reasonable price, and their turnaround time is fast and efficient.
Custom board cutting, glassware, decanter sets, mugs, assorted stainless steel jewelry, assorted tags, decor, custom acrylic nightlights, and much, much more.
Call them up at 605-545-7535. Horton Lasercraft, where memories are engraved.
Well, it's not Guns of the 701, but it's BlackBeardLogic. Just popping back on, just to tell you guys, God bless, good night. Wanted to run that full sponsor spot because I don't want to miss any of our sponsors. They've been so awesome, and we could not put out this content without them. So, and I'm just getting to the comments here. I didn't want to. I didn't want anything. I wanted this to be a smooth show. So, and it still was not. Something weird is going on with my internet. But Brian, thanks for tuning in. JD, uh, obviously, thanks for tuning in. One Shot Cap, Bill, um, Steve, Lynette, One Shot again, Brian, all you folks, thank you for tuning in. I will, as a matter of fact, I may put out a additional bonus content and address like all of the comments. Just go through the comments and have fun with them. So keep your eye, uh, keep your ear to the ground for that. Good night. God bless.